Triggered. This is Whitney Kell, and we're here to turn your triggers into truth. And I feel so fortunate and excited to be sitting here with one of my new favorite people, Brian Howie. And Brian, you just happen to own the location where we're filming this podcast, correct?
Very fortuitous.
Oh my goodness.
I can get us a good rate on this podcast studio. Yeah.
And what's the podcast you're most proud of? Because you've been doing podcasts for what, over 20 years?
Not over 20 years. I've been producing. I've done my podcast. I've been a podcaster. For 11 years.
Okay.
I have been the podfather, meaning producing other podcasts for about 10 years. The ones that I'm the most proud of are the kids. We do a lot of podcasters with children as young as 8 or 9. They're very curious. They're very talented. They really know how to raise questions and find answers. I had a spirited discussion on one of the kids' podcasts for 2 boys, 2 girls, ranging from 8 to 10, and they had a very spirited discussion about chicken or the egg.
Wow.
They were able to answer it and take it on in a logical manner that I had not. I have enough time trying to figure out if a hot dog's a sandwich, but they went at it with chicken and the egg.
Which podcast is that? What's the name of it?
It's called Around the World with Ayla.
Wow, I really love that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I actually, growing up, preferred spending time with the kids when we were at parties than with the adults. They're just...
Also, kids now are used to being on camera and on a microphone since the time they were born. It's not so radical. Sure. So they're a lot more comfortable. They don't think about, oh my God, is this how my voice sounds like we do?
Right. They're not judging or projecting.
They're not. They're just opinionated and spirited. So.
And they like to play.
Oh, yeah.
I love to play.
I do a lot of workshops teaching kids podcasting. I wish I had a podcast when I was 12.
Wow, that's such a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend has a little girl who's so outgoing. Actually, 2 of my friends have kids that would do really well having their own podcast.
Yeah, it's good. It builds communication. It builds confidence. It's good.
And then other kids will watch the podcast, or do adults watch it too?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we're here today to talk about triggers, Brian. So,
Is that a trigger? Kids? Kids? Is that a trigger for you?
I think for a lot of people, kids are actually triggers. I chose not to have kids.
Same, but the day's not over. Same, no kids.
So you could have a child delightful. At some point. That might be a desire of yours.
No, that's not a desire of mine.
But what would be why isn't it a desire of yours? Why didn't you want to have children?
I met a urologist the other day. He specializes in vasectomies. Okay. I go, how many vasectomies do you do in a day? He goes, 15. I said, what's your recovery time? I go, what's the recovery time for vaccine? He goes, for a vasectomy. He goes, I ice down my hand and I'm ready to go the next day. I'm like, no, not for you.
Do you know, though, let me just say something.
Yeah.
Have you gone to vasectomy?
No. But again, day's not over.
So my experience of being in an 18-year relationship with lots of other people who were in couples who had kids, were done, is getting men to get a vasectomy is like getting them to wear a condom. There's crying, there's resistance, but a woman to get her tubes tied, which you have to go inside.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And we're having children.
Not too many women do that, though. Tubes tied is rare.
Okay.
Vasectomy, a lot of guys do because a lot of them wives insist on it.
Right. Well, yeah exactly. They have to pressure.
You can reverse both, I think, though.
But that's a trigger for me.
Vasectomies?
No, the reality of the sexes where, granted, I didn't have children, so I'm not the, poster girl for this, but that women have to go through so much. I was just telling you about all the hormones I take and how expensive it is to be a woman.
That's why we should pay.
Oh, I know. I heard you say that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It's crazy what you guys have to spend.
On a date.
You spend like hundreds of dollars before you even pick you up. Right. So you've already contributed your part.
With the makeup,
all
hair
of it.
Care.
Pilates, Botox.
Exercise.
Makeup.
Yeah.
Christian Louboutin, the whole deal.
I'm not doing that. That's not I like to.
You have done that.
I like to keep my money in the bank, not on my clothing. So I manage.
You dress like you spend money.
I enjoy dressing well. It's not about a brand for me. I don't care what other people think I'm dressing. I went to Burning Man.
Yeah.
And at Burning Man,
costs a lot of money to do that too.
Oh, that was $8,000.
The difference between an inexpensive outfit and an expensive outfit is usually accessories. You can accessorize a $20 dress and make it look better. Yeah.
Brilliant. But I like to invest my money. If you look at someone's credit card, you can actually see their values. I tend to go to Burning Man. I do things that help me grow and learn over buying a Louis Vuitton or things like that.
So my values are in Starbucks, I suppose.
Your values are in Starbucks? Yeah.
If somebody said, what is your most frivolous expense? Because I don't have children.
Right.
Starbucks.
Is it because you don't have children that it's your most frivolous expense?
I think it enables a really frivolous expense.
You think you have more money because you don't have children?
I certainly have more money because I don't have children.
Okay.
But kids like $1 million a pop, right? Over the course of a lifetime, at least.
Do you ever regret that you haven't had them?
Never.
Not even while you were going through what you just went through? You didn't think once like, God, what's my legacy?
Never, which is terrible. I mean, I'm embarrassed to admit that.
Why?
Because it's societally frowned upon. A, B, having children for a man almost is like 100% approval rating. You won't find too many guys who don't like being a dad. You find a lot of moms, it's a lot tougher job for a mom. Guys really like it. You're asking me, have I ever regretted it? No, I've never thought about it. I never wanted it. I was always, though, like if the woman I was dating wanted children, I would be fine. I would go along with it. But a lot of women have children because it's fine. I'll go, I don't want to regret not doing it. You ever heard that? I had a kid because I didn't want to regret not having a kid. That doesn't seem like a good enough reason to sign up for 50 years.
Right. That's a trigger of fear.
Yeah. I don't want to, not doing it because of regret. There's a lot of other things that I don't want to do because of regret. But no, I never wanted it. And my parents didn't seem to enjoy it that much.
Well, that's my question for you. So do you think, because part of the reason I didn't was my mom screamed at us after we wrecked her second car, never have kids and never get married. It's so much work. Do you think that the type of parenting that you receive impacts whether or not you choose to have children in general? And then let's bring it down to you.
Probably, yeah. I mean, if I had a dad who loved being a dad, especially a dad to a son, I probably would have found more joy in it. That seems like an excuse by me, though, because I was around enough other people who really liked it. I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to do what I want to do, which is again, I sound like such an ass saying this, but it is.
Do you think it's your responsibility to populate the planet, Brian?
No.
So why? Okay, I want to go back to one thing you said, though, because you said, if I had a dad that loved being a dad, did you have a father who didn't enjoy being a father?
Correct.
And how do you know that?
Because I was his son.
So you experienced a lack of joy.
Oh, he was not going to my game, taking me to the game, throwing the ball around, having a conversation. I think I had fewer than 5 conversations that were different from "you're up, son," like in a golf course. In my whole life, I don't think I ever had a substantive one-on-one conversation with my father in my whole life, ever.
Interesting.
I would call the house and he'd be like, "Here's your mom."
Huh?
He never called me. He never.
Do you think that was personal, or do you think he was just a grumpy old man who didn't like to talk?
I think he was a man who was uncomfortable being a father to a son.
Yes.
I think his father was uncomfortable being a father to him. I think it's one of those things.
He
had no problem with my sisters.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a good model, perhaps.
He was even good to my brother-in-laws.
Oh. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was something about, I was going to say me. I don't think it was me. I think it was a son. And I always wonder how it would have been different if I had a brother. I had 2 sisters. Would that have made it easier? Or would he have been not a good dad to two? I don't know.
Right. Do you think that maybe, okay, so this is a great conversation. I want to just dive into it for a sec. First of all, the platform which I worked from is the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Mm-hmm. And the second agreement is don't take anything personal. And I've been studying that for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. And the more I review it, the deeper I go, the more I really feel confident and comfortable with my father is who he is. And actually, I wrote my book, Triggered, based on the man who showed me who my father is. And I dated this guy, and I realized he was emotionally not available to me in the way that I needed.
Right.
He raised a son, not a daughter. He didn't have an example in his life of how to be emotionally open and there, and he was left at home a lot. His parents traveled. So when you think about your childhood and what are the things that your father did different with your siblings, did you take that personal when you were little?
Yeah, but I had a pretty close relationship with my mother, so I don't think I noticed it I noticed that my mother would come to my games and my mother would do that. And the excuse was always, well, your father's working hard, so we have all the things and we have some money. And it was always that. It was always the money card.
Were you the oldest?
No, I was the middle of 2 girls.
Okay.
So I always, as I became more and more estranged from both of my parents, I secretly wanted my father to die. I wanted to get the phone call that your father died because I thought that would liberate my mother to have a relationship with me. I was always secretly hoping if something happens to my father, I think I would be close to my mother again. I always felt he was the barrier.
Interesting.
I put it on my father. Well, then my father did die, and it was worse with my mother.
Oh.
So I think I put it on him when it could have been on her, or could have been on me. Like, I really thought he was the thing, and then he died, and I have worse relationship with my mother.
Okay, so let's unpack this for a sec. So what are your sisters like personality-wise? Because you're outgoing to
Now?
me. You're extroverted,
Yes.
you're interesting.
No, I'm introverted, but I'm one of those introverted extroverts.
Mm-hmm.
I like to talk to who I like to talk to.
Right.
A stranger terrifies me.
And it explains a lot of who you were when I first met you.
Yeah, you were a stranger.
Well, you're emotionally unavailable to
Probably.
strangers.
Yes.
Or even to yourself, possibly.
Yeah.
Because your parents didn't set an example of...
I know how to hit on.
You know how to hit on. What does that mean?
Like, as a social skill.
Okay, social
Like,
skill.
I could talk to a strange girl if my intent was to date her.
You could sexualize somebody really easily.
Sexualize is the wrong word, but
it'd
be interested in there. Like, I know how to, like, argue with, make fun of, like, these surface level engagements.
Banter. You're good at banter.
Small talk, I'm bad at.
Yeah.
Right. So that's an introvert. But when I'm comfortable with somebody, or I get on a microphone or something, then I feel far more relaxed than if I'm in an Uber with the driver.
Interesting.
Terrifying.
Right.
Or at a wedding table. Terrifying. Like, literally, elevator. I like scared to death of somebody talking to me in the elevator.
But you're so good at asking questions and being curious.
That's a control thing. Asking questions puts you in control of the conversation.
Absolutely. I love being in control.
So I'm aware of, like, that character flaw, which I think it is. I think it's bad. Yeah. I think the people who will talk to anybody anytime and want to learn, they're better. They are better. I envy those people. The person who's, like, hopes the Uber driver asks them, like, how's your day? Where are you going? I'm envious of those people. I'm not those people. And I think it's a fear thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing about this, because I'm very much like that, I know everybody's business, and I have some really beautiful friends in my life who say, Whitney, I don't care about that. And they own it, and they love themselves. And my invitation to you, Brian, would be to ask, what's wrong with being who you are? You're fucking fabulous.
No, I'm not. Apologize for I'm explaining who I am.
You have a couple times through this conversation, you've said, well, I feel this way about, like, there's some...
No, I'm recognizing that there's probably a different or better path. That's not means that feel sorry. It's part of a greater package, which I think I'm okay.
You mean one that you would prefer? Because it's not better
There's
or worse.
elements that I would prefer, but there's also elements that a lot of people don't have that I'm proud of. So there's like curiosity. And passion.
I don't want to be anybody other than me.
No, I don't either. I don't want to live any other life. I've had it pretty good, but I have all my hair. You know, it's easy to say. All your hair. It's very nice. So, like, there's certain things I'm like, could be worse.
So you're saying if you didn't have all your hair,
I might be different.
You might wish that you had hair.
I think so. I would understand the plight of the bald guy.
Okay, let me just ask the question.
I mean, that sounds like a dick thing to say, but I see the guys who struggle with that. And I'm like, how? And I think about that all the time. If I were bald or balding, how would I approach it? Okay. Would I shave it off? Would I get an implant? Would I obsess over it? Would I wear a hat? I think about stuff like that.
Okay, so this is the opportunity for me to step into one of my triggers. What if you didn't have fingers? How would that go?
There's two ways to do that.
Sure,
that I think there's people who, it's sort of like a lot of uber introverts, real socially awkward people, get a lot of piercings and tattoos. So they're drawing attention to themselves in a way that is not really looking within. It's like a distraction technique. Have you ever heard that or noticed that?
I think your body is art. I think people are expressing who they are. It
can be, but a lot of times they're distracting with that.
Okay. It's an individual thing, right?
So there's ways like, would I paint it up or would I keep my hand in my pocket? I don't know. But it's different, but you probably don't want to have it as a conversation piece, but it is something people want to know about.
Okay, so I'm going to go to what? You're a fantastic podcaster. You've got history with dating and all of those things. I want to say the thing that was on my heart when you talked about your hair is that I actually like any height of a man if he's confident. When a man is confident, he knows who he is and he loves himself. He actually digs the shit that most people would look at and go,
the most confident guys I know are 5'5".
So how that's to me connected to the lack of fingers, and it's taken.
But you don't notice it. Nobody notices that.
I know it.
But
That's
do you
all
think
that
people
matters.
notice your finger?
But that's not what matters.
If I go to if I just meet you and I shake your hand, do
I
you
used
shake
to be
hands?
so aware of it. In business, I wore prosthetics for 20.
What does that
28
feel like to
years.
shake?
Yeah, I would watch someone's expression to see if they noticed. It was very.
But is it more unusual to
self-conscious.
shake the prosthetic or to shake your hand now?
But that's not the point. I hear what you're asking, and we can come back to this conversation. But my point to you just is, the more you know yourself and the more you just go, Brian doesn't like to do that. Ha! Brian didn't have kids. Brian had folks that were pretty self-centered and not really interested in him.
Right.
So you re-raise yourself. You sit down with little Brian. You spend time in silence and love and energy with yourself and look in the mirror and just invest that time.
Do you think you would look like that if you had all the fingers?
Would I look like what if I had all the fingers?
That.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I have a bestie.
Or do you work on the other 98% because of that?
So I have a bestie who's physically handicapped and walks with a cane.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been wearing these prosthetics for 20 plus years, and her husband's a celebrity. And so I realized years ago, and I finally took them off. And I speak on stages, and I was always
like a glove?
hiding myself. No, they're little prosthetic fingers. I have a bag of them. We'll bring them on the show, and I'll show everybody. Maybe we'll do it together. Maybe you can help me unveil that.
Maybe it's my fetish.
But the trigger, I'm trying to help kind of reflect to you what my perspective is. And that is, so my girlfriend walks with a cane.
Right.
She's one of the most confident people I know. And what her husband said is he married her. This guy's hot. He's successful. He chose a woman who's handicapped. And he said, you know why I love her? Because all of her handicaps are on the outside. You can see them. And everybody else is trying to hide their shit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too.
Cover it up. Put it under the couch, drink it away. And so my invitation, as you're opening your heart and you have started cracking open in a way that feels so safe to me.
Right.
Which is why we're sitting here together. We're in each other's lives now, because spiritually, that is what life is to me.
I wouldn't have allowed the crack. I had to, I literally went through a cancer thing last year that forced me to care and to let myself be cared for. Let people that I barely knew reach out and recognize that maybe I was okay. And a lot of times the thing that I needed the most was a hug, and I couldn't hug because I was in pain in my rib cage. And it was weird. It was like a weird taunting thing that I'm like, I'm open to this now, but I have to deal with this. So I always be like, does the handicap, I don't know, is your fingers a handicap?
I could be collecting money as a physical disability. Yeah. I'm from the government. Like when I was little, I'd say I was handicapped for sure.
But you're just like, if somebody says what happened, you're just like, I was born like this.
I was.
That's it. But that's the answer.
Well, they call it congenital defects, and we all have.
And we've had that
congenital
conversation
defects.
before. I think defect is a bad word.
I think everyone has them.
Correct.
Brian.
That's why I think
And knowing
unusuality or something
But,
like.
So if congenital defects is okay, and you know what yours have been for years, you have been emotionally cut off because mom and dad had
I have heart problems.
They didn't have the capacity to love their little boy in the way he needed to be loved because they didn't have examples of it. Who knows? Maybe they were molested. Maybe they got beat. This is what I decided about my father, is he was emotionally unavailable. And my stepmom would lock the door. We were locked in the basement. And what I came to the conclusion of after he passed, when my cousins told me that his twin brother beat the boys on that side, well, I had no idea. What if my dad, this is just a story,
right?
But it's a story that helps me better understand and forgive. What if my dad was afraid that he would get triggered and act out in a way that was violent, like his dad did to him, if he got too close?
And that affected his behavior, I'm sure.
So what if there's something
Well, my
like that?
trigger, that's a really good point. My trigger, holidays used to be my trigger. And it wasn't that I missed my family, is I didn't want to answer the question of, are you going to see your family? Are you going home for Christmas?
I know that pressure.
So I would do one of two things. I would either travel very far.
Amen.
Like, no, I'm going to Shanghai.
That's right.
Or I'd volunteer. What are you doing on Thanksgiving? I'm volunteering. That ends the conversation.
Right.
Because that seems socially acceptable. So I'd volunteer every Thanksgiving and I would travel every Christmas just to avoid, what are you doing for Christmas? And so that was my trigger. Like the holidays would come around, I'm like, I don't want to have to answer this question. And so that question was because you are judged on that. Somebody who's gets over 40, never been married, and doesn't have a close relationship with her family, clearly you have something there. And so by coming up with these sort of artificial constructs of how to get around that, you're not lying. You talk about lies of omission. Are you going to see your family? That's not, I don't need to explain my family, but no, I'll be in Hamburg. You know?
Where was Hamburg? Did you go to?
In Germany? No, but I did. I'd go away. I'd go a lot of places just so I didn't have to deal with it. I would dread the question more than the holiday.
Social pressure. I think a lot of people can connect with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
it's like being at the singles table.
Right. But here's the dynamic that I want to bring home, and this is the trigger part, because that's a trigger, right?
Yeah.
The trigger.
It was. It's not anymore.
Well, how did you get through it?
I did a podcast about it.
Oh.
It's called Dead to Me.
What's dead to you? The holidays?
Dead to me. No, the family. So I had to talk about estrangement, and I was shocked at how many people. I haven't talked to my sister in 25 years. I haven't talked to my. So many people were like, "Oh, I'm glad we're saying this out loud because you're a real pariah if you didn't." That got me through it. Therapy and whatever, like the shit, because it's shame. You feel shame that you are not tethered to these people that everybody thinks you should be the closest in the world to. And I was like, maybe somebody will tell me I'm adopted. Like, I don't have anything in common with my family. It's so weird. I have cousins that I'm close to, but like my nuclear family, none of us are close. And it was just always like,
everyone can relate to that.
Shame.
Most people can relate to that.
Right. And saying it out loud and talking and telling my story about it, the people sort of, you're not alone in this journey. Now I kind of own it. I lead with it.
Yes, you lead with it. I like that. And to bring it back to my feeling of our purpose on the planet, based on the fact that I was also brought up I don't have any family, or haven't till just recently. I have cousins. After people have died, all of a sudden cousins show up.
Same. I'm close to cousins that I was never close to.
So I've gotten to choose the family that I get to be around.
I agree. And you can make your own family.
My question for you is, what if our purpose, what if all people's purpose on the planet is to reparent themselves? Our parents, no matter what they did the best that they could, but who we were when we were little and how we experienced the world impacts us. So to rewire our brain, no matter whether it was abuse, molestation, or joy and happiness, or control and money, or travel, and they're gone all the time.
Yep.
What if your one job, now that you're aware, could be to go back and hang out with your little Brian, or do it on a daily basis?
That. I did that with therapy. I had my therapist, who was way out on the shaman woo fringes. Right. She had me go take 5-year-old Brian for ice cream.
Oh, cool.
I had to go through that whole thing. And I did.
Do you ever sit and look in the mirror? Breathing and looking at yourself and eye gazing? You're a good eye gazer. I think we eye gazed.
No, I am not. I am with you.
You think you could do it with
Because I feel safe with you.
You don't feel safe with yourself?
No, I feel safe with myself. I don't feel safe with everybody.
Right. But what if you did it in the mirror?
Because you're a little fucked up. I like that. It's like there's a bond there.
You mean I come from dysfunction?
You determine however you want. You're just,
well, you didn't want
you're
to call
just the right amount of fucked up.
You didn't want to call it a congenital defect, but
I think defect is the wrong word. I think it's just an abnormality, unusuality.
I'd like to say I have an edge.
I just think defect is offensive.
I see the world in a different way.
I have some ugly toes.
I'm grateful for the trauma, for everything. I'm so grateful.
You didn't answer the important question, though.
What's an important question?
If you had full fingers, do you think you look like that? And you know what I mean.
I have no idea what would be different.
You might be 40 pounds heavier. You might not work out as much. You might not try so hard. You might have the personality. Like, is it 2% of you is like this, and as a result, 98% of you like that?
I believe every health condition, congenital defect is a spiritual opportunity to take a look at what does it mean to you. And it doesn't matter what it means to everyone else. It really matters what it means to me, because I told that girlfriend of mine who was very popular in school. She's still very popular. She's married to a famous guy.
Right.
And living the life of everyone's dreams. I see her all over. I'm like, I'm going there. I want to follow her life. And she looks like Maria Shriver. But she said to me, and I'll never forget it. She said, Whit, what if people weren't making fun of you because of your fingers? I came from a really hard childhood. It wasn't safe at school. It
Right.
wasn't safe at home. It wasn't safe anywhere. I wasn't safe. And so when I was in school and got bullied, that wasn't safe either. I was just so depressed. I mean, I was suicidal when I was young. It was a really difficult time, but I was resourceful. So we couldn't wash our hair. My stepmom wouldn't let us wear decent clothes. So I'd hide them in the bushes and I'd get up in the middle of the night and wash my hair. So I was very resourceful. So do I think that whether I had fingers or not, it would have made a
fingers, you would have been
difference?
less resourceful. I mean, there's a way that is it's a blessing.
How could we know?
I don't know. I don't know your other defects, so you say. I don't know if that's the one that's the biggest one. I don't know.
Well, I think we're getting to know each other, so you'll figure that out as
I
time
know.
goes on. And
I
to
think
turn
you were
it back
born with a tail.
to turn it back to you, just out of curiosity, with your family and the way that you view that, are you grateful that you were brought up in the way you were by the people you were brought up, so you have become the man that sits before me right now?
No.
A strong, intelligent,
No, I don't
funny.
think I'm.
You're not grateful.
Well, I did another podcast. It was called Born or Made that I was a guest on.
Born and made.
Born or Made.
Okay.
And you kind of had it's a little nature versus nurture.
Okay.
And how much of me is a reaction to that. And I don't know if you could be grateful that this caused that kind of way. Like, I'm funny because I wasn't allowed to be funny in my house. Maybe I developed that skill. I don't know. I mean, you're a product of your environment, and I guess I should be grateful that whatever led to this started there. You know, I don't know.
Do you believe we're having a spiritual experience, or is this, how many dimensions do you believe exist on planet Earth? And when we die, what happens? If you were going to guess, or what do you believe? I guess you're very good at opinions.
I believe there's a spirit. I don't believe we just. I'm one of those people who don't like atheists, and I don't like super religious people either. I'm like, nobody knows. We're all agnostic. We just don't want to admit it. We're all agnostic.
We're all agnostic.
I don't know, and if I believed that you only have one life, I think you live that life differently, and I don't think you live it as kindly.
You don't live it as kindly.
Yeah, I believe in karma and stuff like that. I believe in spirituality. If I'm like, this is it, I get X amount of time, and then I go in the ground, and that's it.
Right.
I think you lead a far more selfish, karmatic life than otherwise.
You think people that only believe in this life live a more selfish life?
I think they don't have anybody
Do
to
you
answer
think it's
to.
selfish to not have kids?
No,
Okay.
I think it's the opposite. I think I'm doing everybody a favor.
Because you didn't fuck somebody up?
Yeah, I'm like, no. More of me? No. There's plenty of kids. Lots of kids
But
out
this
there.
is where I keep getting caught with you, Brian. Because
I don't need, a lot of kids, and no offense to all the parents out there, a lot of that is ego. A lot of this, I need another version of me. I need 7 of me. I think that's, I think you should have the amount of kids that can give the love and attention and things that you need them to. I don't need to create a baseball team. Like, I don't. I think that my purpose for the last 30 years is to try and give people a voice in whatever medium that is and to help them find their voice. I think that is as valuable as having my kid. I do.
Right. It's having your kid. So I keep wanting to go back to the comments that trigger me with you, that help me see where, if we just did a little this and that.
Yeah.
I wonder to myself, which I'm going to say out loud, is, have you ever done hallucinogenics for spiritual purposes?
No, I have not.
Have you ever considered letting your ego go and your mind go so you could just feel what energy is like?
No.
Would you be open to doing that?
More so than ever.
So the control, you are willing, because you have to surrender in that environment. Because there's other dimensions when we shut the ego down.
I'm aware. So I'm tiptoeing towards there.
You're tiptoeing.
I've done hypnosis.
Oh yeah, that's deep. That's great.
But the drugs that I chose back in the day were not those kinds of drugs.
I did cocaine and crystal meth.
Yeah,
I
was a cocaine person. Every once in a while you do an ecstasy person, and the more you go down that road.
Ecstasy for spiritual purposes.
Correct.
Is amazing.
But then you get into that, it's a control thing. You have to be willing to go there and to possibly not come back exactly the same way as you were.
Correct. Because you probably won't.
Right.
And you're releasing control. You're relinquishing. It's like the spirit of alcohol. People all forget. There's a fucking spirit in alcohol.
No doubt.
And so there's a spirit
and,
in everything.
anesthesia is scary.
Anesthesia.
A lot of it. I don't like any of it.
Because you just had that for yourself.
I've had it, you get your wisdom teeth out. Sometimes they knock you out.
Right.
I don't like that either.
So do you think, so I'm going to ask it direct. So I call it big dick energy. I have big dick energy.
I know.
believe. And I think that confidence either repels people or brings them toward me. And you're a very attractive man. You are, or have perception that you're very confident. I think because you're successful and you're in a public arena, women tend to project things,
Women like charming asshole, and I've always gone for that.
Say that again.
Women tend to like charming asshole.
Oh.
And I've always gone for that.
What kind of women like a charming asshole, do you think?
A lot.
Think emotionally unavailable women?
Whatever,
or
but that's a lot of women later. The man wants the opportunity. The charming asshole gets the attention and generally gets the opportunity.
So you're
I'm saying it's a good thing.
Good guys never win.
Good guys win. Nice guys don't necessarily win. Good guys, there's a big difference.
Ooh.
Women don't trust the self-proclaimed nice guy. They know there's something not nice about him and they want him to know that they know that it exists.
Do you think that's really true?
Good guy. Like you could be a good guy. You can be sort of a smirky, impish, whatever you want to call it. But you're also, you need to be a little more alpha.
That's the big dick energy.
Yeah. You need to have that. You need to step up. That still wins.
That's confidence.
If
that's
a woman,
all it is.
if there's a spectrum, if we did a spectrum.
Okay.
And one end of the spectrum is the wokiest woke sort of beta boy wearing the I'm with her button or whatever. And the other end is like a knuckle dragging caveman. She would rather have him be closer to the knuckle dragging caveman than the other end of the spectrum. That's just the way it is. She wants 2/3 masculine energy in him. She does not want
Polarity.
2/3. Yeah.
Talking about polarity.
And I think that hasn't changed, despite the fact that sociologically we've changed, physiologically we're still boys and girls. Yeah. She wants to know you're a boy.
And everybody's different. Would you agree with that? So not everyone feels that way. I mean, we have people out there who are same sex. So
no, that's different. Right, correct. Same sex is different.
But
I'm talking
there's
about
still the masculine and feminine vibration. So
there is
right
in that too.
Yeah,
yeah. But they need to have that.
It's like a battery.
Yeah.
Or a magnet.
She needs to be the reflection of him in some way. Yeah.
So I just want to go back to what you keep deflecting from.
I'm not deflecting. I'm answering it.
No, not at all.
I'll hit the ping pong ball back to you. What do you want?
Well, I'm trying to uncover and help you see how valuable and amazing from the outside people see you, but my opinion based on listening to our conversation and the roadblocks that I keep bumping into where you're questioning your self in society, you're apologizing.
No, I think I have a purpose.
What's your purpose?
I said to give people a voice.
Okay.
Help them find and share a message. And
what
grow
if you
an
didn't
audience?
have a purpose? Is Brian just cool? Just Brian?
No, I worried. I think purpose matters. And I wondered if I had a purpose and some very smart woman told me that's your purpose and it's valuable.
What if your purpose is just knowing yourself and loving that fucking cool guy?
I don't think that's enough of a purpose.
What if that was? Would you do it? Would you just dive into knowing yourself at such a deep level and uncovering
How does that benefit society?
What if you raise your vibration? This is my belief.
Yeah.
Doing medicine work, because I've been doing that a really long time for spiritual purposes.
I'm closer than ever.
I hear you. So my belief has always been, because I was willing to take a journey. I mean, I know people who jump out of airplanes to go skiing. I jump out of an airplane to find myself, to uncover, unravel deep in my connection with spirituality in a way that I don't know very many people will ever have the courage to do. So because I've done that for over 20 years, I was training health professionals. I'm a healer's healer. When I turned 40, I was introduced to sound bowl healing, which has been around since.
Yeah. No, I am both afraid of fly and I'm afraid of heights. I wanted to figure out if I was more afraid to fly or more afraid of heights. So I jumped out of an airplane. And I realized that I was more afraid to fly because I couldn't wait to jump out of the airplane because I thought the plane was going to crash. So I did that. It wasn't pleasant either way.
Right.
And now it's worse. Now it is flipped. Now I'm afraid of heights.
Interesting.
Terribly. I don't know what that's about. Is that a control thing? Why would you get so much more afraid of heights at an old age? Like, why couldn't I go on a balcony or bridge now?
So there's only one place to answer that question. You know where it is, right? Close your eyes.
Well, that didn't help. I tried that too.
Meditation, you've done all the work.
It doesn't, once you open your eyes, you're still 300 feet up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, so to overcome fears, but I'm actually still on the topic of you overcoming your belief around your own self-confidence and your projection of yourself based on this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion.
Yes.
You are carrying the beliefs and the stories that your parents held and the way you interpreted. We don't know what was going on with them then. We don't know what's going on with them now.
Correct.
We don't know anybody's stuff.
Yeah.
But we know what you interpreted it like. We know that it hurt you deeply. We know that you felt abandoned.
That's funny. It didn't hurt me at the time. It didn't start to hurt me till maybe I was in my 30s. I don't know why that is either. I think it was because I felt untethered.
Untethered. I love
Yes.
that word.
And I felt untethered. And then you look to like, why? Why aren't I? I had a mother who went from, when are you coming home from Christmas, to are you coming home from Christmas, to what are you doing for Christmas, to Merry Christmas, to nothing. It was a slow deterioration of the family bond.
Because you didn't invest into it, frequency of
I invested
contact?
more than they did. It just became indifferent. My mother basically made an announcement to me and my sisters, we are no longer parents, we are grandparents.
Oh.
And that means that you have no value as a son.
Oh.
Your value is in these children. So there's probably a little bit like, well, fuck you, I'm not going to have a kid.
That's how you interpreted that comment.
Something. It was a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
We're not parents anymore.
But your parents weren't great parents to begin with.
No, and they basically blamed me going into show business for them lacking more grandchildren. They thought because I went in the entertainment business, I was laying on a raft at the Playboy Mansion all the time.
Right.
And I only did that a few times. But so they thought it's not a serious career.
And if it was, so what? It's not your parents'
Well, that's what they thought.
life.
They thought the smarts that they feel that they had bequeathed to me, the IQ that I must have gotten from them, if I was not doing
that's where you get
NASA,
the ego. Right.
Then I was wasting the gifts that they gave, and it was unserious. And the evidence of that to them is no children.
So can we both agree that your parents did the best that they could with the tools and resources that they had?
Probably, yes.
Can we both agree?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Their childhoods, I can't. Yeah, no doubt. I no longer judge them, and because I don't judge them, I don't feel the need to forgive them.
Have you ever heard of the Hoffman Institute?
Yes.
Have you ever considered going to that?
I've considered a lot of things.
So basically, they take you back to a funeral, right? They take you to a, what do you call those places where dead people are?
Cemeteries?
Cemetery. Thank you. I try to stay away from those. Well, I don't think people are there anyways. It's their bodies. So they take you to a cemetery and they walk you through what would have happened if your parents passed and what people would say at their funeral. And then they take you to your own funeral. And what would people say about you? And there's the right road and the left road. And if you'd gone down the right road, this is what would have happened. And if you took a different direction, that's what would have happened. So my curiosity as we're talking about this and my excitement for you is that you're so close.
Well, I also believe I'm a work in progress. Like nothing, I'm not absolute on anything. I'm not like, no, I wouldn't do that or no or anything. Yeah, no. The open-mindedness, surprisingly, I've gotten less curmudgeonly as I've gotten older.
Yeah, which is a gift in itself.
I know, it's rare. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I'm open to a lot of things because most of the joys that I've experienced over the last 10 years have been outside of my comfort zone.
Nice.
Which means that anything that feels like it's outside of my comfort zone, I'm now enticed by.
Amen. Yay.
There you go.
Yeah, I think the definition of knowing whether or not you should do something is, are you excited and scared at the same time? Because if it's just excitement or it's just fear,
I agree.
Don't do it. But if it's both, on the other side, you're going to become somebody new.
It is.
And what happened to you with your health feels like that's what happened. Is that
that was outside of my comfort zone too.
Yeah, but it had to happen for you to reach the level that you
I agree.
Or something else.
I know.
Like you said, it could have been something else.
I didn't like people leading with, how you feeling? I didn't like to be defined by my illness.
Interesting.
And that makes you reassess things. But I, as I've said many times, shaking up one's snow globe is a good thing.
Identity.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Well, I've really enjoyed this conversation.
This was
with
fun.
you.
To be continued.
To be continued. And I just want to say thank you because one is what you're really good at is holding the mirror for other people and seeing their greatness. So I just want to say, I think you're a great dad. And daddy is, to me, a masculine figure
Mm-hmm.
who believes and celebrates other people and can do that from the masculine side of just being generous, present,
Mm-hmm.
and stable. And your emotional availability now
Mm-hmm.
and your stability. And I've met your team and you seem like you're doing a really great job fathering.
Call me daddy.
Would you call yourself the Podfather?
The Podfather.
The Podfather.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Brian.
Thank you. I don't take that lightly. I respect your opinion and it matters.
Well, then let's close with you sharing, what are you walking away from this conversation with? What's your big takeaway? What's your big trigger takeaway?
To keep pushing the conversation, to keep pushing the feeling, to keep pushing the envelope, to keep going, take the triggers as a propelling forward necessarily as something holding you back.
Yes, that's the whole point of this.
There you go.
Turn your triggers into truth.
Correct.
And the truth will set you free.
There you go.
My dad used to say, you need to know the truth. And I'm like, but I have a different truth. We all have our own truth.
I agree with you.
Awesome. Well, this has been an excellent time for me. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. With Brian Howie, with Pod Populi, this is Whitney Kell with Triggered. Turn your triggers into truth. Heart hugs, everyone.